Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basic Monsters Game Day podcast on SportsZone Chicago. What a day, dude. What a day, what a day, what a day. Honestly, I feel like this day, I know you're nervous, and then, yeah, I mean, it's justified. But I felt a little nervous before today, and I just feel like today went smooth. Today was one of our smoothest.
So far, so good.
One of our smoothest days so far this season, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm happy for it. We pretty much got everybody on SportsZone Chicago.
Yeah, covered the bases.
We covered everything. Covered all topics, but we're going to continue to cover it with the flagship show. The minds that behind SportsZone Chicago, if you will, the minds behind SportsZone Chicago. The two people that brought me in, and I'm lucky for that, because honestly, like, I enjoy what I do every single day, and like, working for them has been great. Where, you know, it's not only for me, but I feel like it's made me better. I enjoy doing what I do. It makes me feel good doing what I do and working for people like them. And you know what, we're gonna go ahead and just bring them on. You know, like they said, the flagship show. The two people that brought me on camera, brought me to the fold. Shawn and Maya from Shawn and Maya in the Morning. Guys, what is up? I know you guys are in a bar. I know you're enjoying yourself. Welcome to the show. Maya, your first time. Shawn, I know you've been on here a bunch of times, and we welcome you back again. Guys, what is going on?
Man, we're having a blast. You know, we're here at Local 83. It's on 83rd and Pulaski. My guy, we're going to get him on in a quick second. He's running around doing some stuff. We want to get him on. Mm-hmm. But he allowed us to come and do a little broadcast, a little pregame broadcast. Mm-hmm. And we got to hurry up because the drinks are ready for us.
I wouldn't doubt that. And, you know, big game. Maya, we're going to start with you. You know, big game for Pat Mahomes. It's really been dubbed Pat versus Tom. Like, that's what the Super Bowl is. It's not Bucks and Chiefs. It's Pat versus Tom. Pat Mahomes is coming in, and I know he had a rough start to last year's Super Bowl before an epic comeback and a win. How do you feel like he starts this game? How do you feel, you know, honestly, overall, how do you feel like he performed? I feel like, you know, with everything on the table at such a young age, and he has, the ceiling is sky.
Unlimited.
It's unlimited. How do you feel like his momentum, like his mindset? How do you feel like he responds to this game going up against the greatest of all time?
Well, you got to look at it this way. This is like not new to Pat Mahomes. With him doing this last year, there's a familiarity, and they won last year. So it isn't like he's stepping into this new role and he's never done this before. So the whole key thing is act like you've been there. You know, repeat it. Now, obviously, you don't want to see the kind of performance that you saw last year, but that was last year. What I'm looking at more of in this game is I felt Kansas City played fantastic coming into this game. On the flip side, Tom didn't play that great against Green Bay. So I'll be honest, I have less questions about Mahomes and company and a lot more questions about, you know, timely Tom and company, so to speak. So I think Patrick Mahomes, they make adjustments. They're going to do fine. I don't see this being an issue necessarily for him because he's not green. He's not new. So I think he's going to be just fine.
And they did play the year before with Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback, and when Tom Brady was with New England, and they lost to New England, remember, in the AFC Championship game. So they lost. So that he's familiar playing against Tom Brady in the playoffs. That's a huge thing because regular season and playoffs, we know those are two different animals. So he's got familiarity, but we'll see.
And, you know, Luke, I know we talked about the running game, and honestly, both teams, like, we've gotten a split type of response when we talk about both running games. Some people think that, you know, the Chiefs' running game is gonna shine much like they did last year. Some people think that it's gonna be the Bucks. I feel like, and Shawn, you and I both being running backs, and you know, having accomplished what you've done playing the sport. How do you feel like the running backs fare? Like which duo? Because it's going to be Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell versus a Rojo and a Leonard Fournette. which duo gets off more and benefits their team?
Well, I think they're going to be equally yoked. I think the fact that they're going to need both. I think Tampa Bay is going to be a little more impactful because they're going to force someone to come into the box, preferably a Tyrann Mathieu, forcing him into the box. And once you do that, and you leave spaces open behind him for Tom Brady. I mean, let's not forget, you got Godwin, you got Evans, you have you still have Gronk. There's a lot of people, a lot of weapons that Tom Brady has, and if you can get one more guy in the box, because if they can get the running game going, then that's going to do wonders for Tom Brady. And I think also the running game is going to help. It's going to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and if they can do that, if they can keep him off the field, we know how explosive that offense is. And I think that's going to benefit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers much more than it might the Kansas City Chiefs.
Maya, we were talking about Antonio Brown, and I feel like with everything that he's gone through, right? With everything that he's gone through, you have an opportunity to, in a sense, redeem your career. Now, I wouldn't say your personal life. I wouldn't say anything, anything as far as outside of the game. But as far as within the realm of the game, you have a chance to revamp your career, I feel like, whether he stays with the Bucs or moves on. How do you feel like Antonio Brown performs in this game? I know he has a knee injury, but do you think he's a major factor in a victory for the Bucs in this game?
I mean, I think obviously they could have used him against Green Bay. It might have made a difference considerably. So no, remember, it seemed like when Tampa Bay started hitting their strides, it was because now they had all their offensive weapons were on deck. So him being a part of it, it gives Tom, first of all, allows them to spread the field more. That's the first thing. So, they can do that 3 phases. Obviously, the run game's there. You got Gronk in the middle, and obviously, you're going to have Antonio Brown has to step up. But those, to me, both of the receivers have to be present. So for Tom to have all of these weapons, I think it's key. Let's be honest, Antonio Brown, we already knew that he was a quality player. It was his off-the-field issues that caused the problem. So, and he's another one. He's not unfamiliar. This is not unfamiliar territory to him. You know what I mean? He's been there. He's done that. He's a veteran. So right. I think for him, I think these are the kind of moments that Antonio Brown relishes. He loves being in the spotlight. Let's be honest. It's part of his personality. So I think he's excited. He's ready to be present. In his mind, he's like, we should be able to put a ring on it. I don't understand why we can't. Obviously, Kansas City has something else to say about that. But no, I mean, to me, you're looking at a Tampa Bay team that's slated with enough veteran players. They're not green. It's about showing up. And, and if Tom is, going to be, think back his times with the Patriots, he's going to take a line from Belichick and says, if everybody does their job, that should equate into a win. That's what it comes down to for that.
Shawn, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that Tyreek Hill is probably the most dangerous player on the football field. We talked about it earlier in the week, and I think we were both concerned about who to stop first, whether it be Tyreek Hill or, dare I say the name, Travis Kelce.
I'm not sure why there was an issue saying that name, but okay.
I don't think there's an issue on that end. But seriously, stopping Travis Kelce and stopping Tyreek Hill, that's like pick your poison, man. It's either you want this. I compare it to a quick and easy death, or you want a slow and agonizing death. Because I feel like if the focus is on Kelce today, if the focus is on Hill and Kelce just destroys the linebackers for the Bucs, it'll be like they're eaten from within. It'll be like they're dying. It'll be like like I said, they're being eaten alive. And I feel like Tyreek Hill, although he had a huge game, Luke, you had mentioned a cornerback coming back.
Yeah, Jamel Dean, and he wasn't in that first game. Tyreek Hill had 200 yards in the first half. In that first game, I think that benefits it. Mario, do you think? Shawn, do you think that, like I said, from what we talked about earlier in the week, do you think it changes, or do you think that they still start to spy or start to double in spots?
No, you got to double in spots, but you got to get Tyreek Hill because with Travis Kelce, okay, you said it's a slow, painful death, but you can also want him to catch the ball in front of you so you can rally up. If Tyreek Hill gets the ball behind you, there's no rallying up. it's 6. Okay, and the last thing that the Buccaneers want is a quick 6. Okay, that's the last thing they want. Okay, because the Buccaneers are going to go down methodically. They have their big play ability, but they're going to go down methodically to score. Kansas City Chiefs can score in a heartbeat. They can score in 1 or 2 plays and not even break a sweat. So what you want to do is you want to minimize those opportunities, and I think you need to bracket Tyreek Hill. You're going to make sure that you got to get up there. You got to get physical with him at the line, which is why what Kansas City's going to do. They're going to move him around. Okay, they're not going to leave him out there as a wideout. They're going to have him as a slot. They're going to have him in motion because when he's in motion, you can't get a hand on him. If you can't, it's beneficial to them. So watch for them to move him around, but you're going to have to bracket him regardless. You're going to have to bracket him, and it's unfortunate that for Tampa Bay fans that they have other weapons. They have Kelsey. They have Hardeman. Okay, they have Sammy Watkins. They have other weapons, but that's the guy you want. If you have to pick one guy, you got to bracket Tyreek Hill because he'll be gone in a heartbeat, and it'll be 7-0, 14, 21, 28, just like that.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. This is basically about the Tampa Bay defense. With JPP playing the way he's playing, you get Vita Vea back, and then you still have those linebackers that are fast. They get to the quarterback. We saw that perfectly against Green Bay. They sacked Aaron Rodgers 5 times. Who do you think, with Kansas City having 2 tackles out, who do you think has the bigger game from the linebackers or the defensive ends for Tampa?
It's interesting because I think the first thing that we're going to have to put in perspective about this matchup against the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is not Aaron Rodgers. Now, no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Mahomes has the ability to get out of the pocket. He can run. He can become that other element. So, now, mind you, having the tackles out presents an issue, which means you may have to see Kelsey do some more blocking and some other things like that. But I would say that's a slight advantage when your normal cast of characters are not in the game. But I still, at the same time, they were going to have to game plan differently for Mahomes anyways, just because of his mobility. So, to me, yes, it's an advantage that those tackles are out for Tampa Bay, but I still say that's not going to be extremely detrimental for them, so to speak.
I think that what's going to happen is Vita Vea and JPP are going to have to, and Ndamukong Suh are going to have to really collapse the pocket from the inside. That's the way you're going to keep them. Because now, with those 2 tackles out, these defensive ends can go hell-bent for election at Patrick Mahomes. And if you give him room, he can step up and step out and replace that where the pressure's coming from, right or left. However, if that pocket collapses from the inside with Vita Vea and with Ndamukong Suh, that's going to cause a big problem. That's going to cause a very big problem for him, and that's what they're going to need. The fact that Vita Vea is back is huge for the Buccaneers because he allows that to collapse the pocket from the inside. Because if they don't have that pressure, or for whatever reason they're able to block Vita Vea, and these ends can still get upfield, Patrick Mahomes is going to step up, go exactly where the pressure came from, buy more time, and now he's deadly because they have it's a scramble drill. And wide receivers, once they see their quarterback is out of the pocket and on the run, there's specific routes. Tyreek Hill's route is usually a go route, for obvious reasons. He's fast as hell. But everybody else has different routes. You break off your route when that happens. It's called a scramble drill. Okay? And if you allow him to scramble, you may see some big passes from Patrick Mahomes all the way down 30, 40, 50, 70 yards down to Tyreek Hill when he turns around and goes.
On the flip side, I'm going to go to the Kansas City defense, and I talked about it earlier in the day, and I mentioned it with Jamar and pretty much everybody. I feel like the Kansas City defense, they don't have a superstar. There's not a guy. There's a bunch of great talent with a bunch of good leaders that are disciplined enough to do their job, and they do it very well. So, if you make a mistake, it's just like having a couple superstars over there, game breaking, for you, making plays. I feel like their discipline is it could be second to none. The way that they execute their defense, and not saying that they're world beaters. It's just they run it well. Tom Brady has run into some bad interceptions in the past couple games in the playoffs. If Tom makes these mistakes, do you think that they have the firepower to overcome that? And let's say it's late in the game. Do you think it's a wrap if they run to if this defense for the Chiefs runs into an interception from Tom Brady?
You got to feel this way. KC didn't get this far because their defense was subpar. That's just the reality of it. Whether people have been out because of injury, whatever the case may be, I feel they can make the necessary adjustments to be able to put pressure on Tom. And one thing we do know in watching Tom forever, especially in New England, is he doesn't do well when he ends up on his back. That's how you get in his head when you give him pressure. So at this point, I feel like Kansas City has enough going on both sides of the ball, even defensively, to give the pressure that they need. So I don't think we go into this. I think it really comes down to how good is the quarterback play when it's all said and done. Who is the most accurate? Who makes the fewest mistakes is what this comes down to. And Tampa Bay managed to pull off, obviously a win against Green Bay with lots of mistakes being made. You can't make those kind of mistakes against Kansas City because they've shown you time and time again they can be down 20 and come right back into the game. And that's the X factor for them that makes them so much different.
Dub6R says, if those birthday balloons are one of yours, have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you.
Shawn, don't forget to tell her what Coach said, too.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Coach Lance said, first he said, you didn't answer his phone call when you were trying to call me. He was trying to wish you a happy birthday. And that you don't want him on Shawn and Maya, no way. That's what he said to me. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm just the messenger. I'm the lowly messenger. Don't shoot me. But yeah, no, it was a blast talking to Lance and Jason. It really was. But they did. Lance did wish you a happy birthday, Maya. Although he did mention the other stuff.
I don't book the guests on Shawn and Maya, so him not being on has nothing to do with me. XYI. So maybe he can take that up with whoever the scheduling producer is.
Yeah, the scheduling producer. That's right.
Uh-oh. It rolls downhill.
Well, it's funny because we were talking to Jamar. Jamar actually, Shawn had messaged you. There's five, I believe. Five former HBCU football players playing in this game. 3 for the Bucks, 2 for the Chiefs. And Jamar actually coached one, and one of the players from North Carolina Central, Ryan Smith. And the crazy thing is, he came in with this story. It was story time with Jamar Harp. Great story. So apparently, he was coaching in the Celebration Bowl with North Carolina Central with Ryan Smith. And Ryan Smith made a play at the goal line, catching Tariq Coleman from behind, stripping the football, and ultimately winning the game for the team. It was a great story. I was blown away by it. Talk about that. And we talked about it with Lance and Jason as well. The exposure, the more exposure for HBCUs, and I mentioned the story about growing up. It's like if I were there was other options. Shit, I would have went to an HBCU. I would have applied. There would have been more opportunities. Could have been there, especially for inner city minorities. I feel like there's an opportunity there, and there needs to be more exposure. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that now's the right time. Just the climate in the country is one thing, but also now you got Deion Sanders down at Jackson State, and he's already getting D1 kids to come decommit from D1 schools or transfer from D1 schools. So we've talked about this on the show on Shawn and Maya plenty of times. So what will happen is you start getting some of those things and you start winning, and guess what? Then some other coaches and maybe some other schools, some HBCU schools are going to go get some bigger name coaches, and once the level of play gets to a certain degree, now you're talking TV contracts, and then what's going to happen is then you can have the problem is the facilities. Okay, once you get good facilities, all right, you can get the top-notch athletes. Right, you're going to need the multi-million-dollar practice facility along with the weight room. Okay, indoor practice facility. You're going to need that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And once you start getting those, and you're on par with the Florida States and the Floridas and the Georgias and the FSUs and the Georgias, everyone down there, then it's a lot easier. It'll be easier to recruit kids. And now that you're seeing 5 of them in the Super Bowl, if one of them makes a play, one of them makes a game-winning touchdown, one of them game-winning interception, whatever. The more that they're able to make plays, the more attention it brings to HBCUs, and kids will say, "Hey, I do have an option. Maybe I don't want to go to a Florida State or a Georgia and be 6th on the depth chart. I can go here, maybe only have to wait a year or two before here, where I may have to wait 3, maybe 4 years before I play."
Yeah, it's definitely it's good to see, and like Shawn said, it's great. Obviously, exposure for HBCUs, and actually something that came up and it said when you look at the shift that Deion Sanders has had, they said that previously Jackson State never really ranked in having high recruitments. Like they looked at over the overspan of like 200 recruits, and Jackson State actually fell in 84, getting four and 5-star recruits. So you're already starting to see a shift in the interest, not just in football and basketball too. So it's like you see this, and you also, one of the things I'm not sure if Jamar talked about was the realignment of the SWAC.
Yeah.
The SWAC is becoming more of a powerhouse.
He did.
He did a show. We talked about the realignment of the SWAC, and all of a sudden, if you start getting the SWAC to be more competitive, and they start moving up in rankings, and they're going to get TV deals, all of a sudden you may see that shift. But you know what happens? Then all of a sudden everybody's going to want to go to HBCU. Definitely.
That is true. But exposure is key, and I agree with you guys. Like trust me, like I like underdog stories as much as the next guy. And for people that didn't have an opportunity to get an opportunity, especially in with universities that, like, I've watched Grambling and Southern before. Like I remember them coming on, coming out, and it was maybe one game out of the year, but I remember it, and I feel like the more the merrier. I feel like the more exposure, the more people will flock to the program and eventually lift it up. But right now, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Before we let you go, I want to get your guys' final everything for before the game. Who wins? Who does good? Who does well? Let me know what you guys have to say. I'll give you guys the floor. The floor is yours.
What do you think? You go, ladies first.
I'll be honest. I mean, this is really a hard game to call for so many reasons. I don't know that I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it could be mid-20s. But if you ask me to pull, I guess if it was life or death, and you said you got a gun to my head and you must pick, I'm feeling like Kansas City, and not just because it's Kansas City. But again, we're talking about Tom Terrific. So anything is possible. And here's the thing. Whoever wins, I'm actually okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with it, whoever wins. But I would, I like Patrick Mahomes. And I'll take it back. Tom Brady and Trump Kansas City. I decided I'm going to be political. Kansas City.
Okay, you know what? I love Tom Terrific. He's still wicked pissa in my book. And I got a match with Tom Brady. You know what? The only guy who's had a life on par with his is Derek Jeter. Okay, so here's the problem. Tom Brady's a 6th-round pick. He's not a 1st-round pick like Patrick Mahomes. He's not a golden boy like Patrick Mahomes, okay? This guy was 6th round. You saw the picture of him at the combine. Not one single freaking definition of muscle on his body, okay? Bitch tested everything. Okay? That's a bodybuilding term for those of you who don't know, okay? What he said to the owner, to Bob Kraft, was he said this. He said, I'm going to be the best pick you ever had. And he backed it up. We in the media tend to, and the people in general, we love the underdog story. Okay, let's not forget he was unheralded coming out of Michigan, and he goes on to win 6 Super Bowl titles. But because he did, and now he got to the point, now everyone's like, oh, Tom this, Tom that. He's a Trump supporter, or, the Patriots cheated and all this other stuff. But this guy had, to me, I still love Tom Brady. So I'm picking Tom Terrific. He's wicked pissa. I'm gonna go 34-28, maybe 34-31. Okay, and that's it. And you know what? So they're not going to be able to use the cannons. But if they win, they will be able to fire the cannons at Raymond James Stadium. So I got the Bucks. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Hey, there you go. You got more people on the bandwagon. If they fire the cannons afterwards, that'll be the ultimate troll.
Oh,
the ultimate troll. If they fire the cannons right afterwards. But speaking of that Super Bowl winning body, there it is right there, baby.
There it is.
There it is. The GOAT, baby.
199th pick, and he's on a tear to show he's the best. And it's good. Hey, Andy. Hey. Guys, this is the owner of Local 83. We want to thank him for his name is Andy, a good friend of ours.
How you doing, Andy?
How are you doing?
We're doing good.
We got to listen to him. Yeah, so we just want to thank him for allowing us to do our little pregame thing here. It's 83rd and Pulaski.
8355 South Pulaski.
There you go.
8355 South Pulaski.
And come on down. If you don't have any plans, come on down. We're going to have the food's going to be here. They're going to have some drinks here, quite a few drinks here. And I think they're going to have some drinks here. So
and plenty of TVs.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you can see behind us. How many TVs you got now if you install the new?
26.
26. There you go.
26 TVs. So if you're on the south side, southwest side, come on down. Local 83, right? 8355 South Pulaski, still in the city. All right.
Andy, what's your pick?
Hey, get Andy's pick.
Oh, he said your pick. Who's your pick?
Who's my pick? I'm surrounded by Chiefs fans.
So you going Tampa Bay? You going against the grain, or you gonna go? You go with the flow?
They said they're spending money, so I got to go with the Chiefs.
Smart man. Oh man, guys, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Before we let you go ahead and let everybody know where they can hear and find you guys online.
Well, you can find Shawn and Maya every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. We have our Facebook page, Shawn and Maya. We have SportsZone Chicago. You can find us on Twitter at SportsZone Chi, CHI. Find us on Instagram at SportsZone Chicago. If you want to follow Maya on social media, you follow her at
the Sports Chica on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, Maya_Kai. And don't forget, download the SportsZone Chicago app. You can find it in the iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon stores. So download the app so you can catch all of our shows. We have several live shows that are fantastic. So make sure you download the app and you can always be in the know.
If you want to follow me personally, I made it nice and easy. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all the same handle at the Shawn Sierra.
There you go.
You forgot the snapper. The snapper.
The snapper.
There we go.
I'll say that tomorrow.
Hey, enjoy the bar. Have fun. We'll be talking to you guys soon. I hope it's a good game for all of our sakes. Well, for at least this guy's sake, because I'll have to be dealing with a girl.
Luke, I got you, Luke. I got you, buddy.
All right, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
You got backup. All right, guys. We'll have a good one. We'll see you later.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, guys. That was Shawn and Maya from Shawn and Maya in the Morning, the flagship show here on SportsZone Chicago, and it is time. It's time.
Without the ugly jacket.
Without the ugly jacket.
Does that guy not have the worst dressing sense?
I don't give a shit. The guy gets paid $1 million to say it's time. Give me an ugly ass jacket. I wear the jacket.
You should just come out there in a robe.
Give me the jacket. I don't want to be a pirate. I'll be a pirate, Jerry.
Yeah,
I'll be like, give me the box. Like,
give me the bozo outfit.
Give me the bozo outfit.
I'm going out
You're gonna give me $1 million to go back like a okay, whatever. But anyway, it was great talking to those guys. Shawn and Maya in the Morning at SportsZone Chicago from our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It will be 5 days a week coming soon once everything is uplifted. 9 to noon Central Standard Time. But to be honest with you, I'm ready, dude. This is it. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see Tom versus Pat. Like the hype. The game hyped itself. Like the players' accolades hyped it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't media. It wasn't anything else. This game was hyped because of who's on the football field, not because of an agenda or what have you. I'm ready for this. I think this is going to be one of the best Super Bowls, if not the best Super Bowl we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, the only people that are upset about these two teams being on the field is State Farm. I mean, straight up. Let's just be honest.
At least one of them.
Right. So, but other than that, man, I like we've been talking all day. Like, I feel like this is going to be this one's going to go down in history as one of the best, with two of the best guys. Great head coaches, great coaching staffs, coordinators. I mean, it's anywhere. Just pick a position or something to do with the game, and it's a heavyweight fight. It's Bulls, it's Bieniemy. It's Pat, it's Tom, it's Andy, it's Bruce. It's just everywhere across the board. So I mean, this game is going to be huge. And like I said, I'm pulling for Tampa because if they win, you'll see me down in Tampa at the parade.
I think you'll see both of us down in Tampa.
I'll be at the parade.
He'll be at the parade. I think I'm going to tag along because to be honest with you, it's a team. We're a team here on the Basement Monsters Game Day podcast.
And the warm weather wouldn't hurt.
And if Luke has to go to Florida, I have to go with him and support his team too. I have to support my friend.
Yeah.
All right. I got to support my friend, so I have to go to Tampa Bay with him and report alongside him. But anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here on the Basement Monsters Game Day podcast. We got about 30, 40 minutes. Look, they say the kickoff's at like 5:15. This shit's not going to start till 6. So go ahead, get a snack, order some pizza,
get your beers,
get some beers, get some booze, enjoy the game, kick back, relax. And you know what? Make sure to check us out at halftime because we will be on at halftime and in the postgame. So look for us then. Until then,
let's go.
Let's go Bucks. Huh? Let's go Bucks. For your sake, let's go Bucks. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. And this is the greatest football player of all time, Tom Brady, the 199th pick out of Michigan. Tom Brady in the 2000 draft. And you know what? To be honest with you, let me not take off before we go ahead and get to the poll question.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to you by the Chicago Crusader. Go to the ChicagoCrusader.com and answer the poll question. Who gave the better Super Bowl halftime performance? Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Prince, or Beyonce? Go ahead and vote, and we will get the answers to you on Shawn and Maya in the morning, hopefully on Monday morning. Until then, guys, I'm Ivan Vargas, Luke Nettles.
Buck up.
Peace.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.